Hey friends, welcome back to Hobart Reviews. My name is Hobart, and today I'm super excited because after a year of waiting for this baby, the Nanrobot C1 is finally here. Now, as you can see, it looks a lot different than any of the other Nanrobot scooters they've put out so far. So far, they put out the big, bad, top speed, long range scooters. This is their very first lightweight, foldable commuter scooter, and it's geared towards the teenagers, the college students trying to get around campus, the quick trips up to the store, the fun rides around the neighborhood, something you don't necessarily have to gear all up for like you do with some of their other scooters. So in today's video, we're going to go over all the different areas of the scooter, features, specs, the whole 9 yards. Then I'm going to take you out on a ride. I'm going to show you how this rides in the real world, and then we'll finish off with my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off in the cockpit. All right, let's quickly take a look at your cockpit area. Over on the left side, you've got your rubberized grips. It's pretty hot out here today. I got sweaty hands. I'm getting about medium grip on these grips. What I really like is the blinkers. This is the first time I've seen this. Normally we have the left and right switch like this. Got rubberized buttons here on the C1, which is really nice. Got the bell up front, your rear disc brake. Now this also engages your electronic braking as well. So about a second after you hit your rear disc brake, you're gonna feel the electronic brake kick in, and I'll show you that while we're out in the ride. I'll demo that for you, all right? In the middle, you got your LCD screen. I'm not sure if you can see it in the bright sunlight. It's not too bright, but the battery level is up top. You've got your speed mode, your odometer and trip, and it even has these cool colored icons on the side that go up and down based on how much throttle you're giving it. You got your power button over here on the right side, your headlight button right there, and of course your thumb throttle. Now, you also have cruise control on here, and the way to engage that is to double click your headlight button, and that's going to engage the cruise control so that when you're riding, after a certain amount of seconds, it will continue that speed on its own until you hit the brakes. If you want to turn that off, which I leave it off, you just double click the headlight button again. To power on and off the scooter, of course, you're going to long press the power button here, and right here is going to be the hook that you're going to hook to your deck when you fold it up, and I'll show you how to fold it here in a minute. All right, so taking a look at the front of the C1 here, this is where all the business is happening here. That's your 500-watt motor. It's got an 850-watt peak power, and that's going to get you up those 15 to 20-degree inclines. There's no brakes up front here. You only have those rear disc brakes and the electronic braking inside the motor. I don't see any bolts here. This is the first time I've ever seen where there's no bolts. I don't know how to take the tire off if I were to get a flat. And speaking of flats, this is actually a 10x3 tubeless tire, and it has a self-healing gel inside. So if you get any punctures, it's supposed to self-heal itself and keep you on the road. Another thing that's interesting about these tubeless tires is I'm so used to having my tires at 50 PSI, and that's not the case with these guys. You're actually going to have them at 30 PSI. So I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, so taking a look at the deck area, the first thing that you're going to notice is that the Nanrobot C1 has a body. That's right. They've given it this plastic body on here. Kind of looks cool. Comes in this orange color. You can also choose some really light baby blue color. Now you have this silicone pad here on the deck, which keeps things nice and grippy even when it's wet outside. Your charging port is going to be right up front here, and then this is where the hook is going to hook into on the deck when you fold it up, and I'll show you that here in a few minutes. Now inside the deck, we've got the 48-volt, 10.4 amp hour battery. They are using 18650 cells. It does have a BMS in here to protect you against overcharging and things like that. It does take you about 6 to 8 hours to charge this from empty, and of course that power gives you about 25 miles of range on a single charge. Well, that's a look at the deck area. Let's go ahead and move to the rear of the C1. All right, so not much going on back here. Of course, it's a single motor, so there is no motor in the back. You do have your disc brakes here. These have been really nice so far. No noise, no squeaking, no nothing from the disc brakes right from the start. This is just a reflector in the back. The taillight is actually built into the back of the body. You have a blinker over here and a blinker over here on the rear. I'm not sure if you can see the blinker right now. I do have it on, but it's pretty bright outside. The interesting thing is the way that they put this rear wheel on. So let me turn this a little bit for you and show you. The rear wheel is actually held on by one of these clips. You put a long stud through here, you screw it on this side, and you tighten it up, and you just fold over this clamp, and that's how the rear wheel is on. All right, so you ride this thing to your class on campus, and you need to fold it up so that you can bring it inside. Well, how quick and how simple is that? Well, it's as easy as taking this little spring latch over here, lifting it up, pull that forward, you bring the stem down, you've got this little hook here, and you got your little place on the deck. You're gonna bring it down to the deck, slide it over, and now you can pick it up and bring it inside. It's only 46 pounds, so it's not really heavy. Same thing when you get out of class, you just basically pop this over, this comes up, and now you're ready to ride. All right, so the first thing I'm going to test out is the top speed and acceleration of the C1. I'm here on a full charge. Like I said, the top speed's 40 kilometers an hour. I've got an early production model, so I don't have miles per hour on my speedometer yet. So I'll be calling out to you kilometers per hour. We'll see how close I can get and how quickly it accelerates. Let's go ahead and check this acceleration. 10, 15, 18, 20, 23, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 35.4, 35. So that's about where I'm seeing the C1 get with me on it. It says it's got a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour, but I'm only getting about 35 kilometers an hour out of it. Now, I do weigh 200 pounds, but the weight limit on the scooter is 265 pounds. So in my opinion, if I'm under the 265 pound weight limit, I should be able to get to the top speed of 40 kilometers an hour or 25 miles an hour. So far, hey, 23 miles an hour versus 24.8, not too big of a deal, but that's what I'm experiencing so far as top speed and acceleration. Now, we don't have any suspension on the C1, so when you're going over curbs like that, you want to make sure to slow down, otherwise it's going to be pretty bumpy and could make you crash. I gotta say, this 500 watt motor's got some pickup to it. It's got some good get up and go, if you know what I mean. When I hit that throttle, I'm off to the races. You know, one of the things that I really love to do is to track my rides on my phone. And I also love to save money, and I'm sure you do too. And that's why I've partnered with my friends over at Mint Mobile. Now, Mint Mobile right now is offering premium wireless services on the nation's largest 5G network for as low as $15 a month. And you don't have to sacrifice your coverage or your speed or your data. Now, all Mint Mobile plans will include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G, and they're going to include a free mobile hotspot. Families, they've also got you covered as well with their modern family plan that lets you get set up with a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click the link in the description, and in 15 minutes or less, you can start saving money each and every month on your wireless bill with Mint Mobile. Let's go ahead and continue with our ride. So Nanrobot's given us a rear disc brake and electronic braking here on the C1. Now, I haven't found a way to control the strength of the electronic braking, but what they've given us from the factory is actually quite nice. After you hit the disc brake lever, about a second and a half later, you'll feel a little bit of electronic braking come in. So let me go ahead and show you. So I'm hitting the brake now, there is electronic braking. Now, I'm kind of leaning into it, but it's not overly powerful. It's not going to throw you over the handlebars. There it is again. I'm just trying to exaggerate it a little bit to show you when it kicks in. Hit the brakes, there's the electronic braking. So it's pretty nice. All right, let's test the brakes out real quick. Whoa, I guess they work. Dang it. All right, so the C1's got really good disc brakes. Man, if you hit those disc brakes, they stop you. All right, nice job, Nanrobot. Well, Nanrobot's given us 10-inch by 3-inch tubeless tires here on the C1. I haven't actually had a scooter yet that has tubeless tires on them. So, I mean, so far I don't really notice any difference. There's also self-healing compounds or a self-healing coating inside the tire as well. So if you do get a puncture, supposedly it's supposed to self-heal itself and keep you on the road. Now, these tires seem to be giving me some pretty good grip here on these wet paths and going through puddles and things like that. It does have hybrid tires on them, so there are some little knobs on there that give you a little bit more grip than you would get with some of those street tires. So I'm really liking that so far. All right, so here's a section of the course where they have a dirt path, so we get a little off-road capabilities check. Woo! Whoa! There we go. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and wrap things up here with the Nanrobot C1. We'll start off with the things that I like about the scooter. I love the fact that it's this size, but it has a really nice top speed. Top speed of 25 miles an hour. Now, I wasn't able to get that, but still, 23 miles an hour is much better than the 17 to 19 you usually get with a scooter of this size. So I love the top speed. I also think that it has respectable range for a scooter of this size. Being able to get 25 miles on a single charge. Now, during my testing, as I said, I was getting pretty accurate range, which is kind of strange for electric scooter companies to be somewhat close in their range estimates. So the range is definitely respectable here on the Nanrobot C1. I also think the power is really nice. Now, with some of these smaller scooters, it can take forever for the acceleration and for you to get up to speed. That's not happening with the C1. As you saw in my acceleration test, I was calling out numbers left and right, boom, 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 boom. So it does get you up to that top speed, even though it only has a 500-watt motor. So the speed and acceleration is definitely really nice. What else do I like? The brakes have not given me any noise, any problems whatsoever since I got the scooter. So good job on the rear disc brakes, because we all know there's always some kind of adjustment you have to do on most scooters, and there's some kind of squeaking or noise that you're going to get from them, but I haven't had that so far at all. The electronic braking, while I wasn't able to learn how to control it, it is a really nice electronic brake. It's not going to pull you too far over the handlebars. It's set real nice, and it does slow you down when you need to. So I like the electronic braking. Also, the folding mechanism, super easy, super sturdy. I got no stem wobble at all from this mechanism, and I was able to fold it down in 3 seconds and pick it up, and I'm on my way. Same with unfolding it, so that's really nice as well. I also like the blinker buttons. I know it's a small little detail, but pay attention to detail. Those are the cool details that I like to see. That brings it a step up from some of the other scooters where they have that little plastic switch. This one actually has rubberized buttons for your blinkers, which is really nice. So those are going to be some of the things that I like about the C1. All right, so let's take a look at some of the things that I don't like. I just have a few things. Number one is going to be this floating rear fender. I'm not a fan of these floating rear fenders because in my experience, even on this one, you still get wet sock and dirty sock and shoe when you're riding, when it's wet outside or if there's puddles. So I'm not a fan of that floating rear fender. Also, you do get a little bit of a plastic rattle when you go over bumps on this. The body looks cool and all, but you do get a little bit of a rattle. So I'm not sure if there's something they could do to tighten that up or dampen that a little bit so that rattle goes away. Well, that's all the time that I've got for you today, friends. Hopefully you enjoyed my review and road test of the brand new Nanrobot C1. It's the first time they've dived into this type of market, and I think they did a pretty good job. Yeah, there's a couple things they could tweak, but other than that, it's a really nice electric scooter. It's actually perfect for your very first scooter. Parents, if you're looking to get your teen their first scooter, that's a good choice. Also, college kids, you want to get around campus and you don't want to walk everywhere and you need something lightweight and portable, that's a good choice. And if you're just looking for something to go around the neighborhood or run up to the store real quick and you don't want to have to gear up with one of those big electric scooters, this is also a really good choice. So if you have any questions or comments about the C1, feel free to leave them below. I'll be happy to answer them for you the best that I can. And if you liked what I'm doing today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so anytime I put out a video, you will be notified. Well, if you want to purchase one of these, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description for you. It is an affiliate link that helps out my channel, but it doesn't cost you any more. And until next time, friends, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Hobart for Hobart's Reviews. Have a great rest of your day and safe ride.